You're in the middle of diarrhea and the fire alarm goes off. Realistically, what do? Touch the handle of the stall door. If it's not warm, I reckon I've still got some time. Happened to me during an earthquake. You just sit there and think. So this is how they'll find me. Clear the phone. Double quote. Usually when fire alarms go off it scares the shit out of me. So I imagine the issue would solve itself. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Put out the fire with my mud butt. If I'm having diarrhea and the fire alarm goes off, IDC I'm finishing my explosive shbomb. At least if I'm in the bathroom I have water and towels so I would be fine. This happened to me in college. It was finals week. So I knew someone was randomly pulling alarms at 2 AM to get everyone out of bed. I kept pooping. Shitting intensifies. Rejoice. Cause nobody will bother you while you empty your bowels like a jet with afterburner. Well, if it's diarrhea, shoot it out like a fire hose. Aim for the fire. So, this actually happened to me once. The answer for me, apparently, is 2. 1. Assume it's a false alarm and keep doing my business. 2. Wonder why the false alarm hasn't stopped after a minute. 3. Quickly wipe. Rinse hands and stick my head into the common hallway. 4. See, the hallway is very obviously filling with smoke and that smoke is coming out of the doorframe around the nearest stairwell. Fire in the walls. Not in the stairwell. 5. Grab my laptop with 5 years of grad school research on it and run like hell. It wasn't for another hour or 2 that my body remembered about the diarrhea and I had to find a toilet in a not currently on fire building nearby. Adrenaline is remarkably good at covering up minor symptoms of pretty much anything so you can focus all your attention on continuing to live. Finish the shit. Then start screaming. If you're in the middle of it, the easy answer seems to be to finish it off and get out of there. Can you physically stop mid-butt stream? The more interesting question would be if you're heading to the bathroom feeling something come on but then the alarm goes off. I'm shoving a fistful of toilet paper in my asshole and getting the F out of there. Massive discomfort, can't wait so I don't also burn to death in the middle of massive discomfort. Keep going. We had a fire alarm wake us all up last week at like 3 AM. I took a piss before going downstairs. I calmly finish. Been in hundreds of fire alarms. But the only actual fire I was in didn't set off the alarm. Fire alarms, like car alarms, are 99+% false. Continue shitting. Wipe as hard as I can. Flush then jump out the window. Where am I? At work? At church? In a store? And X200B. I'd probably push through and hope I finish up before I die unless I smelled smoke or something crazy. Then run with poop pants if I have to. Alarms and alerts have taught me they are meaningless. Shit so hard that I become a rocket and blast myself out of there. Panic. And then get scared. When you get scared you shit yourself so it would be easier to get it all out. Right? Then wipe as fast as you can or take some papers and put them between your buttocks and head out. Fight fire with fire. This actually happened to my brother. We were in a small museum, with my parents that had a cafe that was near a tube station in London. Can't remember the exact details. It was a long time ago. He went to the bathroom and the fire alarm went off. This big metal shutter went down over the entrance to the cafe after everyone was out, and since the toilets were in that area, my brother got locked inside. He was terrified at the time, but we laugh about it now as one of many toilet related incidents. Whenever I've had danger in the middle of digestive issues, they've always stopped until the moment I felt safe. When they resurged like a punch to the gut. Fire alarm. Suddenly I stop puking and everything waits until the situation is addressed. Awful food poisoning that had me vomiting so hard I couldn't breathe. Baby cried and everything stopped until she was settled and I set her back in the crib. I was struggling not to paint the carpet as soon as I turned away from her. For whatever reason, my body is willing to prioritize survival. I guarantee that I would roll those dice. Bathrooms aren't too flammable. Aim at fire and release. Stay put and hope the firefighters have a sense of humor about it. I had a similar thing happen when I caught a stomach flu that hit in the middle of work. I was not leaving that bathroom. The maintenance lady did not speak English and I had a hell of a time explaining to her as she got more and more annoyed with how much I was delaying her and kept banging on the door. Anyway, later that day I got a new pair of pants and started learning Spanish. Finish what I started since I never half-ass a job and prepare to meet my maker. The fire isn't the biggest concern at that moment. Point it at the fire. The fire will run away in terror. I can projectile shot over 12 feet. It can coat entire ceilings. I asked this to a teacher once. Here was her response. You'll be surprised by the alarm and hold everything back in. Shit harder. Die with dignity. I've been there. I finished the job. Albeit slightly rushed paperwork. Turned out to be a false alarm. But I have never felt so vulnerable in my life. This actually happened to me a few months ago. I just carried on pooping and thought I'll figure it out when I'm done. It's usually just a drill anyway. Burned to death or deal with running down my leg. Is this really that hard of a question? I don't think enough people here have been severely burned before. Toast. Run out of the restroom with clothes and toilet paper, duck in a bush or a forest and finish my business. This actually happened to me. I assumed it was a false alarm and kept going. It was. I did try to finish up as quickly as possible in case it wasn't. The fire alarm at work goes off about twice a week. And I had an upset stomach that day. I left early, pretty soon after, and stayed home the next day to recover. Since I still had an upset stomach. Had this happened, just finished using the bathroom then went outside. See if the rubber glove came off my smoke detector.